for joining us here at Holliston High School's Kamitian Field, where Holliston High is taking on the Millis Mohawks today. Holliston Panthers, they are coming into this game, having a little bit of a win streak, doing a little better than they have been, and we are looking forward to a big rivalry. It's the Holliston-Millis rivalry, as I had the opportunity to talk to everybody before the game. But before that, let's have our introductions. Today, this is brought to you, of course, on the official channel of Holliston High School, the Holliston Hub. Our two executive producers today are, of course, none other than Tom Harmon and the legendary Mr. Donald Cronin. Two of my dear friends who I've been working with for many years, and we've been doing many productions, so I'm very lucky to be able to share this time with these guys. And, of course, I'm your host, John Drohan. Thank you for joining me. My partner in crime, which is my father-in-law, John Marshall. He is still on the injured reserve, but he will soon be back as the second person in the booth. We are underway. Holliston, of course, is in their crimson red, their home crimson red, playing, and Millis is in their visiting white. Holliston playing from the northwest to the southeast. From the northeast to the southwest, my directions, and Millis playing in the opposite direction. And here we go. So underway, ball down on Holliston's end is Millis. Holliston shoots, and that's Kate McCarron. Got some information about number 22, Kate McCarron, today. Of course, Kate McCarron is the proud daughter, or the daughter of the proud parents, I should say, Lori and Tim McCarron. Today, as I found out, is that Kate McCarron's 16th birthday. So keep an eye out for number 22. She's playing on the outside today. So the forward wing for Holliston, there she is. We'll try and get everybody announced here in the beginning of the game as Holliston pressures, try to send it back to Millis. And here we go. Holliston again, threatening. We did the last game. The last game we did here, Holliston played Norwood, had a decisive victory against Norwood. Looked very strong. Playing a little bit differently than they have in the past, kind of bringing their backs up forward. So we'll look to see if Coach Chadsey is employing that strategy again, because it seems to be this is how she, especially when she goes after some of these younger teams, how she'll stage her strategy. So Holliston, of course, has several captains. In the goal, once again, is senior captain Kira Lucas. Kira Lucas, of course, is her father is a former member of the United States Air Force, which we don't hold against him. Here's Holliston up front. That's 14. That's Lucy Mancuso making a run and had a good look. Millis defender was right on top of her, but Mancuso had a good look. Hit it with her left foot, but the Millis goalkeeper did a nice job. Let's see who we have in the goal today. It's hard to see her number, but we'll get that information. It's like we'll figure it out. Okay, Holliston pressing again. There's McCarron. McCarron always a force in the middle, speed and strength coming across. That's Caitlin Clark, also captain. Clark's unable to handle it. There's Fitzgerald on the outside. Claire Fitzgerald, another senior captain here for Holliston. 4-year starter at Holliston. Ball comes in, looking again, and Clark was right there. Nice ball in. That was a nice ball in by Lauren Mulvaney. Mulvaney's having a tremendous season this year. So Mulvaney with a good look inside, unable to connect with either McCarron or Clark. Hannah Holden playing that Holden midfield, no pun intended. But Holden's doing an outstanding job. And again, Holliston just putting pressure on Millis early. So you're going to hear us probably say Hannah Holden's name quite a bit. Hannah Holden, that attacking midfield. And then, of course, Ellie Granfors in that defending midfield at number 7. That's McElliott. Talking to Coach Chadsey earlier in the season, she's very proud of the fact that her back line, her back defensive line is so young. Not including the shot in. Not including, of course, Fitzgerald, who's a senior, who plays that left back. Look to see if we can see Claire Fitzgerald making her way up and trying to get involved in that attack. Across the back line, we have Sophie Grant. She's a sophomore. Nora McGelliot, the two center backs. Nora McGelliot is also a sophomore. On the outside, there's Mancuso looking for Clark. Kaylin Clark, nice ball across, but it's right to the Millis keeper. Got a whistle. It looks like it might be might have been, nope. And they play through. Met Coach Steve Bigelow, coach of Millis, before the game. Coach Bigelow, this is his second year here at Millis, and has really done a good job with this program. We've had, as I said, this is kind of a big rivalry. You know, two towns are very close to one another. Millis, you know, a smaller operation, smaller program. It's still always competitive. Of course, remember one of my favorite Millis players, Jordan Ferrantino, from a couple years back. And there's Clark. Clark breaks away. Clark's going to get a look, and she does, right at the keeper. Clark, Caitlin Clark looked like she created some space for herself there. Little shoulder-to-shoulder contact. Nice play by Clark. Good shot. Good pace on it, but once again, couldn't find any green past that keeper. Grant's back. She sends it back to Lucas. Lucas finds it. Millis trying to keep it down in the Holliston area. Mancuso turns. It's a nice turn on it. She finds Mulvaney, but Mulvaney can't handle it. And Fitzgerald's going to chase it down. So great news for everybody. As we've talked about before, the Holliston Hub, aka the artist formerly known as HCAT, is we have a lot of new things happening, a lot of good things happening here. However, one of the not so good things that's happening in the cable access TV world is that there's just a lot less people who have cable. And because of that, the Holliston Hub, in order to sustain our operations and continue doing what we're doing and providing all of the great programs and sports and events and award-winning shows, all that happens because of your generosity and your donations. So we'll talk more about that. But if you have if you are so inclined, you can go to our Holliston Hub website, which is hcattv.org, hccattv.org, and find out how you can help. We'll talk more about that throughout the broadcast. Okay, so still no score here. A couple minutes in. Millis and Holliston are trying to identify where there may be some potential to take advantage of one or the other, but so far, Holliston has seemed like they are relatively in control, and this is kind of how it works. There's Grandforce sending the ball across, once again looking for Clark. Looks like they're trying to stay on that right side and see what happens between Mancuso, Clark, and Grandforce and Holden. Holliston does a good job of maintaining their shape. Always have been. Always have been disciplined as far as making sure that people find areas and be able to stay, not gravitate towards the ball. They have a very good job of keeping their spacing, which is why they will oftentimes find opportunities. A little contact there. Grandforce goes down. You can't hurt her. She's too tough. Holliston once again not afraid to play back. That's Grant up the middle. As I said, there's Fitzgerald. There she is. Fitzgerald pressing forward, getting into the attack. Fitzgerald looks forward, has McCarron. McCarron with a hard touch, can't get it. McCarron tries to move. A little bit of contact, no call there. Looks like the referees are letting a lot of that incidental contact go. So McCarron went down, but no whistle. Had a good conversation before the game, talking with both Coach Brielle Chadsey and Steve Bigelow, talking about just how they've really enjoyed just how the league has kind of progressed. As I said, Coach Chadsey's she's been here a long time. I think Coach Chad, I want to say this could be her 10th year, but I might be it could be even longer. But Coach Chad's the head coach. Of course, she was the assistant coach as well. So a lot of tenure here for Coach Brielle Chadsey. Steve Bigelow in his second year, and he was talking about how, for the most part, there's McCarron. McCarron turns around, can't control, and it's going to get pushed out. It looks like Holliston might earn their first corner. Caitlin Clark's going to take it. But Coach Bigelow was saying how, for the most part, this league and the people in the league, the coaches, the teams, he really, really enjoys it. They all seem to be supportive, good, healthy competition. And so Coach Bigelow's he was happy about that. There's Caitlin Clark's ball across and didn't quite make it across. Got into the top of the net. So no harm done. Millis is going to continue on and push it out of their own end. Today's game is brought to you by, as we were saying, as I was mentioning earlier, this all happens. All of this great Holliston Cable Access TV programming happens because of your donations, also because of our sports sponsors. We have five premier sports fall sports sponsors this year. Those sports sponsors are the Henry Studio, which is a photographer, arguably one of the greatest photographers to ever walk the face of the earth, guy by the name of Rich Powers. And we have a whistle here, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout. The old high school soccer timeouts, which is it's a relatively new thing. I'm not sure how long the timeout has been part of the operation, but this is in the league now that teams can actually call a timeout. And, of course, the clock continues to go, and referees will adjudicate some extra time at the end, depending upon how the play develops. But the timeout, I think the timeout might have been called by Millis. And teams are going to talk about strategy. Doesn't seem like that there seems to be – oftentimes a timeout will get called if there seems to be just an excessive amount of contact and amount of, arguing or just animosity between, but it doesn't look like that's happening out there. I'm talking to you two guys. That when I say you two guys, I'll be referring to Tom and Don, who are here to my left. None of those guys are mic'd up, which that's because I don't know why. I'd love to talk to them, but I'm just going to talk to myself while we sit there and you're just going to have to listen because I know both of you guys got headphones on. Tom Harmon and Don Cronin are both executive producers. Tom is the current executive producer, and Don is the former and the original executive producer of one of the programs here on the Holliston Hub, known as Money and the Law. Very, very informative show. Very two really, really smart guys that talk about money and the law, and but they do it in such a way where it's kind of easy to understand, and call me crazy, but sometimes it might even be funny. And that all began because of these two guys right here, Don and Tom. They're the ones who made all that happen. So were it not for them, there would be no money and there would be no law. That goes out to you, Jay Marsden, one of the hosts of Money in the Law. All right, we're back underway here. Millis trying to make something happen. It's going to be a throw from the left-hand side. See if I can identify some of these Millis players. Throw in over the head of Grant. She's trying to clear it. Clark comes in to help out. Mancuso pushes to the outside. And it's going to be a Holliston throw. So as I said, Grant and McElliott, Nora McElliott and Sophie Grant are the center backs, with Mancuso on the right-hand wing, or the right-hand defensive wing, and Claire Fitzgerald on the left defensive. We've got a Holliston substitution coming in right now. Looks like it's Maureen Malvey, number 6. It's going to give Lauren Mulvaney a break. And there's Utke, Bella Utke, senior. Mancuso plays back. She's got McElliott. Still trying to work that right side. There's Grant. Grant misses it. McElliott's there to help. Fitzgerald on the outside. So it looks like, and Millis thought, it looks like Millis, player number 16. That's Peyton Barber. She's a freshman, Peyton Barber. One of the players on Millis, which brought to my attention, and it looks like, see if I can identify where she is, number 6, Lila Blethen. There she is, number 6. She's playing up front. It's one of the center attacks, and there's Blethen, and she breaks 3. Almost got to, but Kira Luke is able to scoop it up. Lila Blethen is the, and I dare I say, because I don't want to imply any ages, but our director of here and the guy who runs everything here at Holliston Hub is Mr. Bruce Guilfoyle. He's not with us today, but Lila Blethen is Bruce Guilfoyle's granddaughter. So unfortunately, Bruce isn't here to watch his granddaughter. We'll see how she does. There's McCarran. McCarran playing with her back to goal. I love the way she does that. Shot in. Holden coming in. That was a nice play by McCarran, playing with her back to the goal, trying to distribute. Had Holden coming in, and Holden was just hit it a little too hard and a little too high. In the 15th minute, we have no score, no real threats just yet. Oh, that had the capability of being able to do something, but not enough. As I said, Millis 2. Millis 2 looks like they maintain good spacing. Millis does a good job of marking as well. So we'll see if that, and we see that this happens, especially early in the game. You'll see in the first half a lot of times, and then, when there's no score, you'll see that there's, everybody kind of stays home, stays consistent, stays disciplined, and it's those teams that can do that when you get tired, when it's late in the game, or when you're down a score and still maintain that discipline. Those are the teams that usually tend to separate themselves. There's Clark up the middle. Clark pushing forward. So Millis defense has been able to handle, for the most part, the Holliston attack. Clark up front. Nice ball forward from Grant. That's Utke on the outside. So now see if Holliston can get any headway up on that left side. So as I said, all this is brought to you by your generous support and also our sponsors. So the fall sponsors, the Henry Studio, Superette, Central Cafe, Basil's, and Main Effort Financial. We're going to talk about each of those guys in great detail as we progress today. So as we'll start off, we'll talk about the Henry Studio, my dear friend and a big promoter, or a big part of the Holliston Hub for many years, as he was on the board with me at the Holliston Hub, Mr. Rich Powers. And Mr. Rich Powers also took the pictures for our website. So, as you can say, he will make you look better than you really do. Like, that's just how he does it. So, very generous donations, very generous support here by the Henry Studio. And, as I said, there's the whole concept, the idea of photography and how, now it's so easy to take pictures with your phone and everything's digitized. And the art of photography kind of tends to get lost in the billions of pictures that get taken every day. There's Utke trying to break through, and she can't. Holden on the outside. Holden, number 13, pushing, gets stuffed. And there's Clark. A lot of her today. Mancuso up. It looks like Mancuso might have been offsides. Not sure of that, but usually when the referee is standing right there, they have a pretty good idea as to where that line is marked. Nice play by Holden trying to bring that ball down. There's Grandforce. Grandforce plays back to Mancuso. Nice sequence in there. Nice play by Ellie. Grandforce moving forward. And Holden was there, and she just didn't see it. So Millis trying to, again, you'll see teams trying to launch the ball into the offensive zone. Sometimes that works. Sometimes they'll be able to get the defenders to make a mistake, and so far so good for Holliston. Millis coming in with numbers. Holden's back, does a nice play. Grandforce is there. Grandforce comes away with it. Nice ball forward. Unable to get it. Malvy's there. Clark on the outside. Clark pressuring. Clark, double team with Malvy and Clark. Caitlin Clark comes away with it. It looks like number 5. Number 5, that's Erin Sullivan, who's playing that outside back. And Sullivan's doing a good job. And Caitlin Clark, who is not slow, is Sullivan's not allowing her to get around her. So Clark comes off to take a break, as does Utke. Number 15, freshman Sedona Sicarella is in. On the right-hand side, attacking mid. And there's Fitzgerald. Also coming in is number 20. Correction, no, she's already there. Came in on the other side. It looks like, and it is. Looks like it's Emerson Arsenal, junior, number 2. Playing that attacking mid right next to Hannah Holden. Still no score. Millis trying to get past that, and still haven't been able to push through. Holden. This is usually where Holliston starts to shine. Holden does a good job of maintaining control in the middle. Clark helps out in the middle. You'll see Kate McCarron push up. Millis drive number 15. Jessica Kramer trying to push through, but she can't. Malvy's there, ball forward, but it's going to go too far and too fast and right to the Millis keeper. "20 minutes in, and still no score, no real threat. So this is going to be one of those games where I feel like there's going to be some strategy, some tactical play here, particularly in the midfield. So we'll see if Holliston can crack this code. They've had a few earlier opportunities, but probably in the last 10, 12 minutes, hasn't been a lot of, the Millis defense has really kind of tightened up. So our second sponsor is, arguably one of the more famous institutions here in Holliston, as the Holliston Superette. It's been here. I think George Washington did get a Bragville sandwich there when he came down Washington Street, and then they named the street after him. Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration. It might be a little bit later than that. But Superette's been there for as long as I can remember, and as long as my wife can remember, and she grew up here in Holliston. All these other Holliston townies that are here. Superette is that food store, deli, You can get dinner, you can get cold cuts, you can get produce. It just kind of has it all, and it's got just enough for what you need, and it's right there, and it's right in the center of town, and has been a Holliston, as I said, a Holliston institution. Super Ed, of course, is run by one of the most famous guys in Holliston. Here comes, speaking of Holliston, trying to make move. There's Holden not doing a good job trying to push back, see what she has, and now Holliston in the attack. Finds McCarron. McCarron goes down. No whistle. McCarron trying to earn that whistle and just can't. Refs are letting that go. And probably for the right reason. That was probably a good call. McCarron wasn't a lot of contact. Ball across, but nobody's there to connect with it. Sedona Cigarella put that ball across and it was a nice shot, but looking for McCarron, but she wasn't there. So as I said, the Holliston Super Ed, one of the most famous guys in Holliston. There's McCarron. McCarron gets some space and shot and scores! Kate McCarron breaks the tie and puts Holliston on the board at the 23rd minute. Kate McCarron broke through, was able to muscle past a Millis defender and able to get a right foot on it, get a good look, and put it past the Millis keeper. So Holliston's on the board and leads by a score of 1-0. Once again, that's a happy birthday to Kate McCarron as she comes off to take a breather. Today is her 16th birthday, and what a great way to celebrate your 16th birthday by scoring the first goal of the game. As we said earlier, Kate's parents are here cheering her on, Tim and Lori. So they must be very proud and probably thinking back 16 years ago today is when Kate showed up, and here she is scoring the first goal of the game against Millis. And we all got to be part of it right here. We're right here seeing it all. How lucky are we? All right, back to the action. Millis is trying to push forward, but once again, Holliston tends to, when they get that lead, they tend to put the pressure on, particularly some of the older players that just learn how to, they've been doing this for a long time. Players like Clara Fitzgerald, Hannah Holden. Here's Mancuso on the outside. Mancuso with a step. Mancuso with a push. Tries to get it across. She's there. They miss it. Keeper missed it and, almost had a shot at it. It looked like that was Riley Whitehead was on the outside, was almost able to get a foot on it. Great ball across by Lucy Mancuso, the sophomore. Came across, went past that Millis keeper, but it was almost someone was there to finish it off. Long ball forward, but that's not going. It's going to be a little too far forward. So Holliston, a couple of freshmen in the game right now. Olivia Kirchner, number 19, is in. And as I said, that was Riley Whitehead who was on that far left-hand side. Almost was able to get a hold of this. Of that ball from Mancuso. Malvy's there. Malvy playing with her back to goal, done a good job and getting some space, and she earns the free kick. So it looks like Fitzgerald is going to take it. Claire Fitzgerald is going to take the free kick from about the 32-yard line if you're talking about American football. Oh, correction. It's going to be McGilly that's going to take it. Who knows? I love this. I love this kind of. They don't know who's going to kick it. Who's going to? Maybe the. No. They get their 10 yards. And see where this goes. Yep, that's it. Long ball in. It's high, right at the keeper. She drops it. And a little bit of a pile up there. But she's able to recover and get a handle on it. And no harm done. It's a good ball in, but again, those balls right at the keeper. And oftentimes you'll see issues where they'll pop that ball and it'll just be on a little bit of an arc. And that arc is just able to get outside the reach of the keeper. So sometimes on these free kicks, you'll be able to sneak them in, the ones from distance, because the players at this level, they can hit the ball. And there is no question about it. All these kids can hit the ball hard. Fitzgerald pushes out. She's got Kirchner. Mancuso outside. Mancuso had that good ball across coming up from that outside back. There's a turn. McGelly comes. Nice job. She's able to close. Nice tackle. So that was a correction. That was McGelly. There was Sophie Grant. Sophie Grant came over and made some nice help on the outside. Able to stuff that Millis attack. So Millis trying to put something together here. Long ball in, but it's going to go to Kira Lucas, and she will corral that up. As I said, Kira Lucas is an Air Force connections. Her father, of course, Brad Lucas, great softball player in the Holliston Old Man Softball League, but he's also a brother-in-arms as he was in the Air Force and a graduate of the United States Air Force Academy. It's not his fault, the Air Force, they do important things too. They're an important academy, They're maybe not as important as the other academies, but they're, they serve. I hope he's listening to this right now because I'm saying this just for him. Okay, Millis trying to push it in, but can't do it. And McElliott pushes back to Kira Lucas. She sends it forward. Here comes Millis again. So Millis doing their best to try and get some pressure to get that equalizer. That's Sadie Bigelow on the outside. Here comes Holliston. Holliston has traditionally had very good speed. And what happens is if you just tend to start trying to pack everything, Holliston counterattack with the best of them. We've seen this over the years. A lot of Holliston's success offensively has been on the counterattack. There's a little bit of contact there between Maureen Malvey and looks like an Erin Sullivan. So Sullivan and Malvey, and Malvey's going to get a little bit of a talking to right here. And she gets called for the foul, and I think they're going to play on. And Fitzgerald's going to come up. She's trying to find out what's going on, and a little bit of things are getting a little testy there, but we'll see if they can sort out. So it's a free kick for Millis, taking it as number 12, Riley Sylvia. Sylvia sends a long ball in. It's going to bounce. That's trouble. Lucas is there. Lucas is able to get it before number 16. So number 16, Peyton Barber, is able to get a foot on it. Lucas plays out. Mancuso struggles with it a little bit, but she's able to clear it out. Cicarella's there, and it's going to be a Millis throw. Sydney O'Toole, the throw in the answer. Some substitutions coming back in. Holden, Clark's coming back in. Ellie Gramford is going to take a rest. Kate McCarron's back in the game. So Holliston leads by a score of 1-0 on the 23rd minute. Kate McCarron connects from the left-hand side. Ball goes down, and so does a Holliston player. She's okay. No whistle. Holliston throw from the left side. That's Chloe Buckley. Number 12 is in the game now. Grant McElliott still in the back. And there they go. Grant gets shoulder to shoulder, goes down, and Millis retains control. So Chloe Buckley is a sophomore. She's playing on that outside right back. So it looks like we have helping out on the field today. It looks like we have some of the Holliston Youth Soccer Association, HISA, some of those girls, you see them in their classic crimson Holliston red. Many years wearing those Holliston, those Heisa jerseys. Just takes a swing and there's a foul. 2-11s. Looks like it's Caitlin Clark and looks like number 11, Ava Kazis from. There's a collision, but everybody seems like they're okay. But it's going to be a foul on Clark. It's going to be a Millis free kick. Ball in. It's a little low. Holliston's there to stuff that. Long ball in. That's going to hop, but it's going to get to Lucas before anybody else can get to it. Looked like it was at Lila Blethen. With her grandfather watching. Ball forward. McCarron tries to get to it. She stuffs it. Good defending. Some contact there. Holden's there. Clark's there. Buckley on the outside comes up to help. And it's going to be a Millis throw. Clark thought otherwise, but I think she was the one who kicked that ball out. And looks like a throwing violation, which seems like excessive, but a throwing violation nonetheless. And so it's going to be a Holliston throw. We're going to have some more substitutions coming in. Bella Utke's coming back in. She'll be filling that right side slot. And looks like we have Holliston's got a good number of their starters back in. And there's McCarron. McCarron breaks to the outside, trying to create some space and can't. Holden's there to help, but she pushes it out, and it's going to go off Millis' front. It's going to be a Holliston throw. Buckley's going to make the throw. In the far right-hand corner here. Tries to find McCarron. She pops it back, see if someone's there. Utke's there. She can't get a hold of it. Grant comes up. McElliott comes up. And there's Holden chasing again. So we have Emerson Arsenal, number 2. She's playing that holding midfield right now. Ball goes over her head. There's Buckley. Utke. Once again, Holliston pressuring, but Millis defenders are handling this relatively well. Holliston's not getting a lot of very clean looks. Buckley fights. She loses it. And ball comes out, and Lucas is there to scoop it up. Tries to come back, and there's Fitzgerald. She's got Arsenal. Back to Fitzgerald, and here she comes up the middle. Fitzgerald trying to find McCarron. It's too much. It's too many Millis defenders in between. Grant pushes it to the outside. So neither team at this stage right now are putting together a lot of combinations, anything really pressing. Little pop fly in by Blethen, but no doing. Lucas, big left foot, kicks it out. Again, back into the Holliston end. Buckley's there. She can't control it. Shot inside. Lucas with a save. And it goes through. Oh, unfortunate. Hard luck for Kira Lucas. Peyton Barber got hit it. Lucas was there, just wasn't able to get all of her weight behind it. And that ball was able to sneak through. And Peyton Barber with the equalizer. So in the 35th minute, Barber scores and ties this up. This game is tied at 1. So that was just, Kira Lucas want to have that one back. But it's hard. It's so much harder than it looks. She tried to dive for that ball, and Barber was just able to sneak it under. It was a good shot. She was at point-blank range. And here she comes again. So Barber on the outside. She's feeling it. She sends across, and it's low, and on that short side, Lucas is there to scoop it up. But Barber was at micro-distance range and able to get enough on it just to sneak it under Lucas. She just couldn't get all of her body behind it. So we're tied at 1. Grant's there. McElliott's there. And Millis starting to feel it. Millis pressing with that goal. And here they come. So up front, remember, we have Barber, who's a freshman, and Blevin, who's also a freshman. So that's Peyton Barber. He's a freshman. Scored that goal. And also up front, Jessica Kramer, who's a junior. So Holliston trying to turn it around. And there's a foul that McCarron's been trying to earn this time, and she gets it at the midfield. Kate McCarron sends it forward. She's got Holden. Pushed it back to McCarron. McCarron looks. Left foot, tries to find but can't. Mulvaney was there. McElliott. Mancuso, but it's going to be another Millis throw. So as this first half is winding down, we're tied at 1. So it's a real game. Both teams are playing good, and here comes McCarron. McCarron wants to change this if she can. Pushed it forward. Mulvaney's there. Mulvaney's on the outside. It gets pushed out, and it looks like it's going to be, it's going to be a Millis goal kick out. So Mulvaney unable to handle that. So as I said, Holliston had some early success in pressuring, had a couple good looks, but nothing really that deadly. And then McCarron was able to break free and score on a relatively close shot. A couple other potential things for Holliston, but not anything really lopsided. So Holliston Millis doing a good job defending the Holliston attack. And it looks like they're bringing more people. There's Fitzgerald comes up. She's trying to find McCarron. McCarron turns left foot, high shot, and scores! What a beautiful shot by Kate McCarron. Her second goal of the game. So McCarron scores late in the 38th minute. Beautiful turns to her outside, shoots with her left foot up over the outstretched hands of the Millis keeper, and Holliston takes a 2-1 lead right before the half. What a shot by Kate McCarron. So that'll take the wind out of Millis' sails right now coming into the end of this first half. Big pickup for Holliston as they take the lead, regain the lead by a score of 2-1 on Kate McCarron's second score of the night. And that really was just all McCarron. McCarron she bodied up that Millis defender, able to turn to the outside and got a good strike on it and really hit that ball perfectly. McCarron again, there she is, ball comes to her foot, she tries to shoot. Grantfors is there. Grantfors, nice ball forward. Can't find anybody. McElliott's there. Grantfors pushes through. McElliott, it's Grant. Grant gets to it. She gets tackled, and they're going to call that a foul. Time winding down here in the first half. Holliston leads 2-1 on 2 Kate McCarron goals, and the freshman Peyton Barber on the board for Millis. Hannah Holden pushes forward. Caitlin Clark on the outside. Clark gets a nice ball across. She earns a corner. Nice ball by Caitlin Clark. So Holliston's going to have a corner, and this could be the last play here of this first half. Caitlin Clark's going to take this corner. It's Hannah Holden's going to take it from the corner this right side. Holden. Nice ball up. It's got air. It's a little far back. McCarron can't get to it. Mulvaney fights for it. Nice ball in. That's a shot. Holden had a good look at it. Thought about it, too. It even took an extra beat. Keeper guessed right, and she got her. So Holden, that was as good a look as Holden's going to get. A little bit of distance, and that'll be it for the first half. So after one half of play, Holliston leads Millis by a score of 2-1. A couple of Kate McCarron goals. Good game. Stay tuned because this is going to be, I think this one's going to come down to the finish as Millis had a late goal, or almost the latest goal almost at the end of the first half by freshman Peyton Barber, and Millis looks like they're starting to see some of the opportunities in this Holliston defense. All right, so we're going to take a quick break here at the Holliston Hub. Everybody go get something to eat, stretch out a little bit, and don't be afraid to come back and watch the rest of the second half because you're going to see some really good soccer. On behalf of the guys here at the Holliston Hub, I'm John Drohan. We'll be right back.
Hello everybody, glad to be a sponsor over here from Basil's Pizza. We're here at 1568 Washington Street, Holliston, Massachusetts. Hours of operation, we're open 7 days a week, 10 to 9, and Sunday, 11 to 9. Great place, great people, great food. Great place overall, just glad to be part of the community. We would love to see you in here. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Rebecca from Central Cafe. My parents bought it in 2001. They expanded it and bought the convenience store that was next door. Then they added groceries, beer and wine. This last year we were able to earn a full liquor license, and the store is open from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it's nice to come before work, get a breakfast sandwich, bunch of options, a lot of drinks here to get after a long day of work. You can stop by, get your winning lottery ticket and some tobacco products. We're located at 100 Central Street, a quick pit stop from the rail trail. It'd be great for you to come on down. We'd love to see you here.
And we're back here at Holliston High's Kamitian Field, where your Holliston Panthers are leading the Millis Mohawks by a score of 2-1 in this nail-biter of a competition today. Holliston got on the board earlier with a goal by birthday girl Kate McCarron, and then Millis was able to tie it up almost at the end, right at the end of the half, about 5 minutes remaining in the half. Freshman Peyton Barber was able to put one past Kira Lucas and tied it up, and then, almost got out of there with a tie, but then Kate McCarron in the 38th plus minute was able to get a ball onto her left foot and send one over the head of the Millis keeper, and we are now at a score of 2-1. So far, both teams are playing some aggressive play out there, not anything too damaging, but everybody's playing hard. We've seen Holliston probably spend the majority of the time. The majority of that first half was down in the Millis end. Millis spent a lot of time defending. However, Millis was able to kind of spin that back a little bit towards the end of that first half, and which resulted in them getting a score and putting them on the board. So here we are back, changing sides. Holliston, of course, is in their Holliston home crimson red, going from the southwest to the northeast, and Millis from the northeast to the southwest in the visiting white, and we're underway. Of course, this is brought to you once again. Thanks again for coming back for the second half. Brought to you by none other than the Holliston Hub, the artist formerly known as H-Cat. Don Cronin, Tom Harmon are here. I'm your host, John Drohan. My father-in-law, John Marshall, who is my co-host normally during these games, is still on the injured reserve, but he's making his way back. He might even be, I think he might be ready for next week. We're going to have to talk to the medical staff, make sure that he's able to play. But it'll be good to have him back. I know there's a lot of you listening out because we have fans from all over the world. People in Arizona, grandparents in all parts of the country. And here's Udke. Ella Udke's she's doing a little, and she's able to come away with it. So as we're underway, so we know that John Marshall, of course, a lot of fans. John Marshall is also he's kind of like one of the godfathers of Holliston soccer. Was one of the original members of the Holliston Youth Soccer Association, or HISA, back in the early 70s when they first moved here. He moved over, of course, from England. He's a Sheffield United fan, played professional soccer himself. So with luck, we'll have him back so he can provide his insight. And McCarron pushing up the left side. So Holliston like to get another one here to kind of put this a little bit of distance. McCarron sends it forward. Nice play. Nice ball by Caitlin Clark was there, and she was able to almost came down with that. Nice play by Clark. McCarron with a good ball in, and here comes Millis on the counter. There's Barber. She's driving into 3 Holliston defenders, and she's unable to clear that. Hannah Holden comes back to help. And here comes Holliston, come back the other side. Lucy Mancuso up the middle, trying to find McCarron. She's got her. McCarron pushes to the right side. She's forward, looking for Clark. Clark can't get there. Almost can get there and just can't get around that Millis defender. Good job by Millis defending that. So Holliston's trying to put the pressure on early. Take that commanding 3-0 2-goal lead. Yeah, my math is good. I'm the math of right now it's 2-1, so that means they're only winning by 1, right? Just yeah, it's a little bit different than American football. It's really just you count by ones. So we're going to be able to figure this out. So Holliston leads by a score of 2-1, and Millis is trying to figure this out. Millis is trying to put together some sort of an attack. And it's hard because you can see Millis they'll bring a lot of people back in order to try to manhandle and see if they can control the likes of Kate McCarron and Caitlin Clark and Bella Utke. As we said earlier, Holliston Youth Soccer Association, some of the HISA kids are helping out with the field today. It's a big help. It's always nice to see those guys getting involved. And there's a ball across, puts down. Oh, that was Lauren Mulvaney. Mulvaney almost had a header, but was unable to get any kind of pace on that ball. So it's good to see the youth here, the Utes, because that's what happens is like you play HISA soccer growing up, and this is it. This is the big leagues. Everybody plays to kind of get to this point. Play high school soccer, and it's not easy to do. Claire Fitzgerald on the outside. Fitzgerald coming up from that outside back position, sends it forward, trying to find McCarron, can't. Holliston got numbers forward. Fitzgerald trying to keep it down there, sends it forward. It pops. We got a Grandfors is there. Grandfors is able to turn, can't keep it. Now the ball pushed up. There's Barber again. So Barber's got some help on the outside. Barber's got a lot of help on the outside. Is unable to find her. That was Sadie Bigelow was out there standing with nobody around her. There's Mulvaney. Mulvaney to McCarron. McCarron turns, tries to push to the outside. She can't get a look. Clark pushes it back into McCarron. And just over the outstretched reach, but unable to connect. Unable to connect at the inside of that back post and can't. Oh, the goalkeeper missed it. McCarron hit it, but just went outside, just to the left of the post. Good little combination between Clark and McCarron. As Holliston has Millis seemingly on their heels a little bit here. Millis, they're able to turn this around. They have the potential for numbers. I'm sure Coach Steve Bigelow is seeing this. That was Sadie Bigelow. I wonder if they're related. We'll have to find that out. So here we are, and action's starting to pick up here. Grandfors. She's got Fitzgerald. She looks inside. She's got Holden. Holden on the outside, looking for Mancuso coming forward, and she gets through. Mancuso with numbers. Trying to buy Clark. Nice play. Nice. So Holliston's going to be able to keep it down in the Millis end. Ball forward. Clark. Ball in. One-timer. Oh, Mulvaney was there and had it. She'd like to do that one again. Nice ball inside by Caitlin Clark. And Mulvaney just not able to connect clean. She had a good look. She was at point-blank range. So as I said, you're here with the Holliston Hub, my boys. And Holliston Hub and these productions are brought to you by, of course, your generosity and our sponsors today. The next sponsor we're talking about is Central Cafe. Central Cafe is kind of like the local think tank spot. I know that there's some people that go to Central Cafe daily and have a cup of coffee or donut or some other sort of, I know one guy who goes and he doesn't drink coffee, so he has something to drink, maybe a nice cup of Bigelow tea or something, not a sponsor. Ball comes up. Pushing through, that was Clark. Clark again, or correction, Mancuso came down, put that ball across. Kate McCarron was almost there, but it popped up and able to clear it, so it's going to be a Millis goal kick. So Central Cafe, which is it's a convenience store, sells just about everything. Also have their full liquor license. So if you want to go down and get some beverages to enjoy on a nice fall evening, you can go to Central Cafe. It's run by the Aziers family. Truly great people. Always here to give back to Holliston. So thank you so much, Central Cafe, for all your support. Ball forward. Ooh, and just out of the outstretched stride of Lauren Mulvaney, just couldn't get it. Yeah, so Central Cafe is, and they also have ice cream. They got lottery tickets, but it's not like your regular convenience store that you see. Like, it's not like one of those things you see on the side. It's nice. It's all nice in there. It's gorgeous. It's like super clean, super comfortable. It's like great colors. Like they decorated it nicely. So, don't be afraid to go to the Central Cafe. Kate McCarron gets a turn on the outside, ball across. Utke comes in one time. She can't connect it. Mulvaney one time. Ball gets pushed outside. Holliston banging on the door right there. Nice turn by Kate McCarron, was able to get it across. Bella Utke had a look. Lauren Mulvaney had a look. Unable to connect. Here comes Millis trying to get that ball there. And here comes Holliston. Grand Force comes in. Grand Force breaks free. Grand Force again. Grand Force unable to get through. And there was a lot of contact there. Ellie Grand Force coming through. I thought she was getting a good, clean look. So Holliston putting the pressure on now. Holden puts back. Hannah Holden plays back. McGelliot pushes forward. Clark pushes forward. Ball comes in, and it's just easily popped. And it looks like that's Lauren Mulvaney over there. Looks like she's limping a little bit. There's Bigelow on the outside. She's trying to send it forward. Claire Fitzgerald, long throw, trying to throw it over the other. Millis defender does a good job of getting her head on it. That was number 5, Erin Sullivan. Fitzgerald again, looking for McCarron. McCarron tries to turn. McCarron's a physical player indeed. Utke tries to push it through, can't. And Mulvaney's there, push it forward. Bella Utke turning up the intensity a little bit here in the second. We see her seeing her in a lot of these combinations. It's going to be another Millis goal kick. As we're in the 50th minute, score still 2-1. Holliston leads. Long ball forward. Holden's there. There's Caitlin Clark on the outside. Caitlin Clark, long ball in, but it's going to be just wide right. At halftime, the guys and I were talking, and they were like, isn't that Caitlin Clark? Isn't that the same name as Caitlin Clark? And we're like, yep. And I'm sure she never hears that. I'm sure no one reminds her of that she, too, has a name of Caitlin Clark. It's kind of like why probably Michael B. Jordan put the B in his name, because, Michael B. Jordan is because, the famous actor. He was in, he's in the new movie called Sinners. There's McCarron. McCarron gets a look and a shot and scores again. McCarron able to push it to her right foot and send one past the keeper. Got enough zip on it Karen puts it in the upper left-hand corner of the net for the third goal of the game here in the 52nd minute. So McCarron is on the board for the third time. Kate McCarron today, September 22nd. This also happens to be Kate McCarron's 16th birthday. I think I heard her mom and dad say something to the effect that, hey, if you score 3 goals tonight on your birthday, we'll buy you a car. Because usually, it looks like Claire Fitzgerald with an unintentional handball, but it was a handball like you read about. I'm not sure if that's true, if she was promised that if she is able to put 3 into the net, that she will be rewarded with some sort of an automobile. All right, long ball in. Here comes Hannah Holden on the counter. Holden on the outside. We've got Utke. Utke in space. Utke with nobody in front of her, pushing down the left side. Utke, ball in, trying to find McCarron. Can't. Utke had a good look there. She probably had a little bit more time than she thought she did to be able to put something together there on that left side. But Holliston, nonetheless, here they come. Fitzgerald pushes in. Sophie Grant has got Clark. Clark gets pickpocketed. And here comes Millis. But Hannah Holden has something to say about that. And there's Holden. Holden turns, looks on the right side. Mancuso, who's got wheels. She can get there, and she just doesn't. Trying to find Lucy Mancuso on the right side and just couldn't do it. And Mancuso can run. Holliston still putting the pressure. Backs up. Here's McCarron again. McCarron gets it taken. Grant forward. Grant again. So Holliston takes a commanding that commanding lead we talked about, a 2-goal lead. It's 3-1. So Millis is, they're no slack. They have the ability, right? They have the capability to kind of get on the board as we saw them start find some of the cracks in the Holliston defense in the end of that first half. But right now they seem to be playing a little bit behind. Grandford's down there to chase out, but Millis is going to retain the throw. It's going to be throw in down in the Holliston end. McGelliot is there. Fitzgerald there, and a nice little floater to Kira Lucas. There's Lucas. Big bomb left foot. Sends it over the halfway mark. Unable to connect with Kate McCarron, but that's okay. Hannah Holden's got it. I said this earlier in the game. Holden does a truly remarkable job of controlling the middle of that field. And it's one of those things where a big reason of why Holliston spends a lot of time in the other team's side of the field is because of Hannah Holden and Ellie Grandforce. Those two midfielders do a fantastic job of controlling the middle. And there's Grandforce right now. Grant. A lot of Sophie Grant today. A couple of Holliston subs coming in. Utke's going to take a break, as is Mulvaney. Here comes Emma Arsenault and Emerson Arsenault. So the Arsenaults come in as a pair, number 2 and number 5 respectively. And back to the action. McCarron. And McCarron on the outside is McCarron's being defended by number 14, Avery Hubble. And for those of you watching on TV, you see Kate McCarron. She is a very tall player. Probably gets that from her mother. There's Holden turns. Holden with some speed. There's Hubble's there to stuff that, but Hannah Holden trying to get her on the outside, almost able to get it, but Holliston's going to keep it. Lucy Mancuso will make this throw. Mancuso's going to try and put some distance on this one. Finds Arsenal. That's Emerson Arsenal, number 2. Just for you guys watching at home. There's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald scoops one, but she doesn't get enough on it. Pushes it to the right side anyway. So, of course, Holliston Hub and Holliston and all of our programming here is brought to you by your generosity and also by our sponsors. Our 4th sponsor is, of course, Basil's, which is the one of the quintessential restaurants here in Holliston. Basil's Pizza and subs, absolutely fantastic. Basil's been, I don't know how long they've been there, but they've been there a long enough time where they have become another institution here in Holliston, particularly for the athletic community and for everybody. But I don't know how many times people would be like, yep, we're going to go to the game, and then afterwards we're getting pizza from Basil's. Absolutely fantastic pizza, fantastic food, and as good as the food that's there. So that was Grand Force gets called for that, but she goes down, but she's okay. As good as the food is, it's equally good, if not better, are the people, the Migos family that run Basil's Cafe or Basil's restaurant, and they I mean, absolutely fantastic. Like, all those guys, their whole family's involved. It's so fun to go there. You know, 99.9% of the time, if you go there, there will be at least one Migos family person there, and they're always happy to see you. They're always very welcoming. They are, you know, they're very confident in that they say, you know, they make no bones about it. They say they make the best food, they have the best pizza, and they're not afraid to tell you about it. And it's almost like that kind of confidence. It's a little, you know, it's motivating. It makes you even hungrier. So I don't know anybody. I don't know if I've ever had anybody turn around and say, yeah, I went to Basil's. It was okay. No. Everybody goes, Basil's, like, yep, great food, great pizza, great stuff. And of course, Migos they're originally from Greece. So there's that great Greek influence of like a lot of those Greek dishes that are just almost too good to be true. So thank you to Basil's and the Migos family for being a supporter of the fall sports here at the Holliston Hub. So those guys are. We have another timeout. So as we take some time out, let's talk a little bit more about the Holliston Hub. Let's talk about what's going on here. We had mentioned this earlier. The Holliston Hub and Holliston Cable Access TV in general. Our primary source of funding, the primary source of funding for Holliston, for any cable access TV, is cable TV. So, and as people now are, you know, with the upstart and the booming of streaming services, and you know, people are like, I'm going to cut the cable, I'm cutting my cable. So that's all well and good, and you know, you may be able to save money here and there, although I'm not sure if you do, but it's all well and good that you're cutting the cable and you're kind of breaking free from kind of those contracts, those Verizon or Xfinity contracts you've been in. However, the downside of this is that when you cut the cable, then you cut some of the funding. You cut funding that goes towards these public service institutions, these cable access TV stations, which, you know, that's the thing about Holliston Hub. Holliston Hub HCAT, we consider ourselves, and I say this in the collective, like the we is, you know, because I'm fortunate enough to be able to be on the board. I don't play. It's not like we play games, but I've been lucky enough to be part of Holliston Hub, and you know, we look at ourselves as like kind of the center of all information here in our little town, ranging from government. We broadcast all of the government meetings, such as the town meeting or the select board meeting, finance committee meeting, school committee, all this. So you get all your government information, but also all of these high school sports, football, basketball. I think this spring we'll be coming back to doing softball and baseball. It might be on the plate, but of course we do we do soccer. And there's the ball in. So we're back underway. Big, long ball forward, but it's just going to be too much. And Holliston's going to retain possession and have a goal kick. So, yeah, with kind of the demise of cable TV, so is the funding for programs like this. So this is why we rely, it's critical for us to raise money. Of course, Holliston Hub HCAT TV is a nonprofit organization, so it's critical for us to raise money to be able to sustain and keep this kind of program. Ball forward, Millis almost there, but Kira Lucas is able to control it. So please, if as you know, and this is all relatively new. So our fundraising is relatively new. Kate McCarron, after collision, McCarron comes away with it, and she's off to the races. McCarron looks to the outside, comes back with the left foot, and it's a one-hopper. She's got some pace to it, but right at the keeper. So if you enjoy Holliston Cable Access TV and you enjoy the programming, again, we talked about, you know, the shows that we have. We're also there's always new programming coming. It's fascinating stuff. And not only do you have to watch it on TV, but you can see it on our YouTube channel, which you guys are all watching this if you're watching this game. Also on live Facebook. We also have all of our social media platforms will have shortcuts and videos of things that are happening here and all. So anything you want to know, that's kind of, you want to get your fingers on the pulse of things in Holliston, you come to the Holliston Hub and HCAT TV. So some more substitutions. The Arsenals come out, and as does Kate McCarron, the birthday girl, who also has 3 goals so far today. And we're back in the action. Looks like Maureen Malvy's back in the game. Looks like she's playing up front. Correction. Emma Arsenault's still there, number 5. Ball goes off of Millis, and it's going to be a Holliston throw. Claire Fitzgerald's going to take the throw. 62 minutes in, Holliston leads 3-1 on 3 Kate McCarron goals on her birthday, September 22nd. On the outside, that's Mancuso again showing her speed. And here comes Millis trying to push it forward. There's Barber. Correction. That's Jessica Kramer, number 15. So Kramer fighting on the outside with Sophie Grant. Sophie Grant is so physical. And those refs are letting him go. Ball comes in. Here comes Barber. Ooh. So Barber tries to send it, but Lucas is there to stuff that. Barber looks like she tried to get it across for Sadie Bigelow, who was waiting there unmarked. But Kira Lucas was able to get her hands on it and stuff that. But that could have been trouble as Bigelow was there. Here comes Holden. Holden up the right side. I think that's Sicarella on the outside for Holliston. Mancuso. Mancuso can't get space. And once again, Millis, you know, although they're down, Millis defenders doing a good job because especially in the second half, there's been a lot of pressure on those backs. But they've been able to do it. And unfortunately, they've had to run into the likes of Caitlin Clark and Kate McCarron and Hannah Holden, who just keep that pressure going. And then just that whole Holliston shape of kind of pushing everybody forward. They're able to do it. Oh yeah, and there's one more sponsor of the fall sponsorship, the 5 fall sponsors, and that is, of course, Main Effort Financial. I can talk all day about Main Effort Financial because that's where I work. So Main Effort Financial is a full-service financial planning and retirement planning firm. We're a registered investment advisor, and that's what we do. We kind of help people get to retirement. People ask, like, oftentimes I just say my job is to just try and make people happy. So if you're interested in finding out more about Main Effort Financial, you can always go to maineffort.com. It's not as exciting, though. It's not as exciting as, like, Basil's, right? It's not as exciting as, like, Central Cafe, right? It's not as exciting as, like, Superette, right? There's nothing to eat at Main Effort Financial. It's nothing. We got we have like a water cooler. I'm yawning just thinking about it. It's making me hungry. Yep. If I'm hungry, I'm not going to Main Effort Financial. However, just by the grace of God, and here's Clara Fitzgerald on the outside. Nice ball across, left-footed. She hits it hard. She was trying to find Olivia Kirchner, the freshman, but couldn't do it. So Kirchner was almost there to connect, but nice ball by Clara Fitzgerald across and earns herself a corner. Remember the one thing, by the grace of, by good fortune, the Main Effort Financial location is at 747 Washington Street. Guess what's right below Main Effort Financial? It is none other than the brand new brewery here in Holliston, Rushford and Sons Brewery. So my friends, Mike Rushford and Brian Goodman, decided they wanted to put a tap room right here, like a real, like, good old-fashioned pub. Ball across, comes in hard. It was there. Kirchner was there, but couldn't control it. Cicarella's there, and there's some more contact on the outside. I looked away. I wasn't able to see that. Millis player a little bit slow to get up. I can't make out who it is, but it looks like she's okay. So as I was saying, the Rushford and Sons ball in, hard hit. That was Grandforce. Grandforce hammered that, but unfortunately right at the goalkeeper. So Holliston keeping the pressure on as they have a lead of 3-1. And all Millis needs is one little break, and all of a sudden this game becomes a lot more interesting. As we're starting to wind down, we're in the 67th minute here. Arsenal pushes forward. Mancuso on the outside. And Mancuso tries to get it back from Cicarella, but can't. Grandforce is there. Grandforce is able to push it forward, but there's nobody on the outside. That's Malvi on the outside, number 6, playing that attacking mid. Some more subs coming back in. Looks like McCarron's coming back in. And Mulvaney. So Holliston trying to put this game away, and it looks like Holliston's best defense right now is to try and continue to stay on the attack. It's very hard to score when the ball's down in your own end, as Millis is finding out. Arsenal turns, good shot, and scores! Emerson Arsenal Jr. from the outside is able to get a good turn on it, got her hips into it, boom! Put that ball over the outstretched hands of the Millis keeper for a Holliston to take a 4-1 lead. Emerson Arsenal pounded that ball. What a great shot. In the 68th minute, Arsenal gives Holliston all that Holliston needs to make sure that this just stays in the bank. What a great shot by Emerson Arsenal, the junior defender who's coming up. Once again, we see that those attacking defenders, and it makes a difference. It keeps the pressure on those Millis defenders, and Arsenal just got a good look and really had a really, really clean shot. It was a good shot. So Holliston up 4-1. And looking, this whole second half, as I said, since that McCarron late goal in the first half, Holliston's pretty much stayed in control of this game, the entire second half. As we said, Millis is a very young team, a lot of good athletes. really talented soccer players. I think they're going to be a team to watch. I'm just looking at their roster right now. I only see 2 seniors on their whole roster. So Millis is going to be here for a while. And as you said, Coach Bigelow, enjoys kind of the competition, enjoys the camaraderie of the league, enjoys like the spirit of it. And here comes, ball comes through. Nice play by the Millis keeper, but there's McCarron. McCarron sends up a left foot, and it scores again. McCarron is a Millis keeper. Was up. She was flat-footed because she was coming out, and Kate McCarron is able to pop one over her head and score. Yep, that's right. I said it. Her 4th goal of the game in the 70th minute. So McCarron takes another shot, and McCarron is she needs to go buy some lottery tickets today. That kid's on fire. I'm wondering if, because again, as we said earlier, this is also Kate McCarron's 16th birthday. So, and I see here the fans right now are singing happy birthday to Kate McCarron, that's kind of cute. So Kate's having a day, and she puts her hands up and acknowledges the fact that they are wishing her a happy birthday. Not a lot of softball talk during today's game, as Holliston is in a commanding 5-1 lead. So we talked about this last game. Holliston kind of had a large lead, and they let that go. It looked like a handball, and here comes Mulvaney on the outside. Mulvaney trying to get around that Millis defender, pushes in, can't do it, and it looks like it's going to be a Holliston corner. So, yeah, it looks like Hollis is going to pretty much taking care of business today, and that's kind of their job. They did a good job. Kate McCarron was able to find the net 4 times along with Emerson Arsenal. Here's the corner in. McCarron with a header. McCarron gets her head to it, puts it right at the keeper. So, these types of games, when you pretty much know what the result's going to be, it's good to get people in. Good to get some other players in. Hyen Souza just came in for Holliston, number 10. She gets her foot on the ball. It's McElliott. That's Blethen on the outside. Blethen tries to, and looks like we're going to get a Millis corner. So Blethen earns the corner on the outside. Blethen, the freshman, also the granddaughter of Holliston Cable Access TV director Bruce Guilfoy. So Blethen earns the corner. Let's see if Millis can do something. So as we were saying, this is like a good time to kind of start getting other people in the game, focusing on skills. Looks like Brielle Chadzy's trying to do that. Do just that. That's what I meant to say. Just that. Ball in, and looks like we can get another. No, we're not. Caitlin Clark's there. Caitlin Clark. We'll have to refer to her as Caitlin Clark Soccer, right? As opposed to Caitlin Clark Basketball. And I don't know. I should know that if she plays basketball or not, right? That's something we're going to find that out before the next game. If Caitlin Clark does, in fact, play basketball, because that just, as we said, it's tough. That's why Michael B. Jordan decided to use his B initial, because he grew up as Michael Jordan. And, if your name's Michael Jordan, everybody expects you must be a pretty good basketball player because your name's Michael Jordan. I mean, Don Cronin probably grew up the same way. Don Cronin, like if they say, hey, your name's Don Cronin, you must be like a really talented guy, have great hair, and pretty much good at everything you do. Yeah, so there's other Don Cronin. I mean, Cronin's not that uncommon a name, so there's other Don Cronins out there, and they got to live up. They're in your shadow, right? I mean, Tom Harmon, that's another one. You know there's Tom Harmons out there. Look them up. And all of them got to live up to that name. Like, I mean, Don is, it's almost like Don's kind of like the Jedi Master, and Tom is like the young Padawan. It's almost like I'm here with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. I have this very Star Warsian feeling right now. Here comes Millis trying to get something going, and just not enough. Peyton Barber again. Peyton Barber's kind of been the only like shining light offensively for Millis today. She's able to just get down there and unable to kind of crack that Holliston defense. And here they come. Mulvaney, good ball forward. Clark's racing. She's not going to get there in time before the Millis keeper does. Mulvaney is able to push it forward, does a nice job of that. Yeah, so it is very Star Warsian, you know, with Don, the Jedi Master, right? And these guys, for those of you can't see because, you know, you're watching on TV, but they do kind of look like Jedis. I mean, if either of them had like the little Jedi, like, you know, the hood and cape and stuff, you'd be like, wow, this guy's probably got a lightsaber under there. Yeah, because they do. Really calm. You know, that's the thing about being a Jedi, right? You're calm. Everything, you take everything in stride. You're always, you know, everything like moves slowly for you because you're so cool and you're so confident too. And that's the other thing. It's the Jedi confidence. Here comes, speaking of confidence, here comes Holliston. Yeah, that's Hannah Holden. Yeah, she's pretty confident. She's going to shoot, and there she does and scores. Holden pretty much takes that one coast to coast and puts that ball past the Millis keeper for Holliston's. That would be sixth goal. In the 75th minute. Hannah Holden. And it was kind of one of those things, it was a matter of time. Holden is so good at controlling the ball. She's so strong. She's got speed. She's got the ability to see the field. As I said, she's that attacking midfielder. And as she pushes that ball forward, was able to kind of take it, you know, pretty much the length of the field and got a good look and a beautiful shot. That keeper didn't have a chance. So after 75, Holliston leads by a score of 6-1, and you know a solid performance, a solid level of intensity for Holliston, particularly in the second half. They have numbers forward always, and the reason they're able to do that is because those backs, particularly those two center backs, Miguel Elliott and Grant, do such a good job of kind of controlling that counterattack and controlling anything that Millis can try and put together coming back. So as we wind down here, we're starting to play it out, and looks like they're play through. Holliston player down, Lauren Mulvaney's down, and yeah, it's going to be a free, so Mulvaney's going to take it. All right, so Mulvaney, she's got some distance, but something tells me she has the capability to reach maybe just a little bit outside of her reach. She's at about the 25-yard line. What do I know? And she had the distance, just a little wide to the right. So Mulvaney with a good shot up the right-hand side, but just wide of the goal. Long ball up. Souza on the outside. Souza challenging. There's Grandforce. Grandforce pushing forward. Grandforce seen a lot of her today. That's Alyssa Garabino on the outside. Garabarino, correction. She's a senior, number 16. And as we said, you know, Millis is a young team. But Holliston's got some youth as well. Holliston's got got a good number of seniors. Of course, the keeper, Kira Lucas, is a senior. Avery Ash, the backup keeper, she also is a senior. Bella Utke, she's a senior. Souza, Hyan Souza is a senior, along with Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Soccer. So there's Fitzgerald. And of course, Claire Fitzgerald, she too is a senior. Fitzgerald's, as I said, Claire Fitzgerald's been an anchor on that back line for Holliston for the last 4 years. So, Holliston's got some. Grand Force pops it forward. And looks like they're going to call a foul on Millis. So Grand Force earns the free kick at about midfield. But Holliston also has some youth. Kate McCarron scored 4 goals today. Let me count that correctly. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's 4. So McCarron has 4 today, and she's a sophomore. Shot in from Millis, and Kira Lucas is there. It was a little too far out. As we said, the 2 center backs, Nora McGelliot, and Sophie Grant, both sophomores as well. So Holliston, too's got some youth. Sue's on the outside, fighting for it. She stays with it. And it's going to be a Holliston throw. Souza's going to throw it in. So Holliston, another goal, a goal happy victory. A lot of scoring today. Similar to the last game against Norwood. So Holliston, they have the ability to find the net. And, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it's all about. But also some strong defense play, some good goalkeeping. I said the one Millis goal just got by Kira Lucas. So I said, she gets another shot at that. She might have been a split second sooner, was able to get that. So she could have, Millis could have no goals. Here's race down. And Sophie Grant's there, and she's playing a heck of a game. Peyton Barber scored the Millis goal. She almost was there, but Hollis is too strong. And that's it. All right, so at halftime it was 2-1, but then Holliston kind of took charge after a late Kate McCarron goal in the first half, and Holliston's able to come back with 4 more unanswered goals. So Holliston, and the final today against the Millis Mohawks, Holliston 6 and Millis 1. We have goals from Kate McCarron, the birthday girl. She scored 4 today, along with Emerson Arsenault and Emerson Arsenault, who scored in the 68th minute, and Hannah Holden scored in the 75th minute for Holliston. And the lone Millis goal was scored by freshman Peyton Barber. Special thanks to everybody here who was able to put this together. Special thanks to our team here at the Holliston Hub, Don Cronin, the Jedi Master, and Tom Harmon, his young aspiring Padawan. And remember, you are, when we're talking about Padawans, you're Anakin Skywalker, who everybody knows is the most powerful of all the Jedis, right? But, a little dark side, but, whatever. He comes back around. So on behalf of Holliston Hub, thank you for joining us today. I'm John Drohan. We'll see everybody next time at Holliston Girls Varsity Soccer here at Kamitian Field. So hope everybody stay safe, and we'll see everybody at the next game.